Hi, I'm Paul with RackOutfitters.com with a comparison between the Thule SnowPack Extender ski carrier and the Kuat Grip carrier. We have both of them installed onto this vehicle that already has a roof rack pre-installed. We'll go over some of the key features that make these two racks unique and some of the features that make them different from one another. So for starters, we'll go ahead and close them up. These are both in a category of the extendable design. So in case you're not familiar, this design allows for easier loading and unloading of the skis on the opposite side of the rack, which is especially beneficial on larger, taller vehicles. So for starters, you can see there is a different height. A lot of that is due to the fact that this front bar is lower than the rear bar. So let's get an exact difference. So on the Kuat Grip, it's a very low profile design that sits off of the bar 5 1/4 inches. That in comparison to the SnowPack Extender from Thule, it sits off the bar 6 3/4 inches. Okay, so that's one of the key differences. Now let's check out the width of the carrying area. Both of these are billed as 6 ski carriers. The skis would be carried facing one another, base to base, in other words. Here we have a clamping surface that's approximately 32 inches. So the distance within that clamping area, about 32 inches. Here we have a clamping area that's about, I'd say 27.5 inches. So, and there could be benefits to either one. This one, of course, you have more space width-wise. However, this one would take up less room on your roof rack. So it's a trade-off based on which you need. Now, something to keep in mind is that this is their 6 ski carrier or 4 snowboard carrier, but they also make a 4 version, a smaller version that still has the extended version. The Thule SnowPack Extender is only offered in this one size. So that's important to know. So if you do want a carrier that has less width, that is an option with the Kuat Grip. Okay, so another very obvious difference between the two is that the Thule design uses linear rubber clamps or cradles that are gripping to the boards or skis, and so as you press those down, it has a good snug fit. Now, this unique block design is done this way in order to make sure that when you have a ski or snowboard, it presses down only on the blocks that the board is resting on, and it doesn't extend or flex the rubber to the side of that area. So here the blocks would compress, not affecting the blocks adjacent to it. Here, when you clamp down, that could potentially affect the grip of an adjacent ski or snowboard. So if you have a very thick ski next to a thinner set, then you'll find that it may not grip as well as this will because these independent blocks and its unique gripping technique. Okay, so another thing that we've noticed is when you pull out on the extender, so we have both of them extended completely, and here the distance on the Kuat Grip from the end of the carrier, we've got a measurement of approximately 28 inches from the end of the carrier. In comparison to Thule, we have about 17.5 inches. So that's a pretty significant difference between the two as far as giving you the ability to reach the inner skis or snowboards, and that also is a factor of the case that this carrier is wider to begin with as well. So there is more flex. You can see how there's flex on that carrier compared to this carrier is more rigid. However, when you're pulling this out, you're generally removing the skis that are on the end of the carrier before you're reaching these. So this would be have very little to no weight on it. So I don't think that would be a factor with this design. So another feature to consider is Kuat has a rotating pitch adjustability. So the interface between the the carrier and your clamp, it can rotate to accommodate bars that may be at a slight angle. So if you need to change the pitch, you can change that in either direction to level out your carrier so that this carrier and your rear carrier match and they're both on the same plane, and that goes a long way to help do that. With the Thule design, it's a fixed connection between the mounting hardware and the underside, so there is no adjustment there. Both of them use a stainless steel rubberized flexible band that grips underneath the crossbar, so those two features are very similar. With Kuat, you have a lock on all four, so it locks on the closest one as well as the one on the opposite side. With Thule, it locks just one of each of your carriers. So that should be plenty effective as a theft deterrent. However, the Kuat just includes both locks for both so that there's no question that they're both stay secured. Additionally, from a security standpoint, the Thule design, you have the lock that prevents release of the lever. So it's a simple method. You close and then lock it for security. With the grip, it's a slightly different design in that you can have the carrier in the locked position. We like to call this the friends and family lock method. That's a situation where you may want it to be secured to where the lever does not open, but you still want friends and family to have access to it without a key to open and close it. So you can have it locked like that. Now, when you want it fully secured as a theft deterrent, you would lock it at this point with a key matched lock right here. So you have two modes of security: fully unlocked, where you have the unlocked icon, and then what we like to call, again, a friends and family version. So it's closed and you can't open it, but then you can lock it for full security that matches the Thule security. So a little bit more in terms of your options in locking with this Kuat grip. Okay, now we have some other features to look at. We have over here on our bench the other color options that are available. So with Thule, we have the black, which has a sort of a sandy finish black to it, but then you also have this aluminum finish, the brushed aluminum finish. Same rack, just two finish options that you have. With Kuat, you have the gloss black, which was featured on the vehicle. You also have gloss pearl white, and then also their trademark finish, which is the gunmetal gray with the orange accent. These happen to be the 4 carrier. So the 4 carrier is their smaller carrier. So if you don't need as much space as the 6, you've got this one that offers about 22 inches of usable space. And then it extends out about 20 inches. And so this is for someone that may not need as many skis to be loaded. And so you have 2 options from Kuat. While Thule, they have only their one option in the pull-out style. Of course, they have multiple ski carriers that don't have the pull-out style. So you can also choose from Thule's standard snowpacks that are the non-extender versions, which are available in smaller versions in both black and silver as well. Now, as far as the mounting, we discussed the speed link mounting that's provided with the carrier from Thule. Thule also includes their T-track mounting hardware, and these are the pieces. You get 4 square-headed bolts and the appropriate spacers to take the place of the speed link hardware, and that is for people that have appropriate crossbars with a slot that will accommodate this type of mounting hardware. So with Kuat, they also offer that as well. However, this is a separate accessory. It is the direct mount kit, and that is purchased separately. So if you prefer to have that T-track connection for a very clean integrated connection method, you do have that option, but it needs to be purchased separately. Bear in mind, if you do choose this method, you will lose the the pitch adjustment that we discussed earlier, where it allows you to rotate the angle of the carrier on the bar. Okay, so those are all the key differences between the Kuat Grip series of rooftop ski and snowboard carrier and the Thule SnowPack Extender. I'm Paul with RackOutfitters.com. Please see the link in our video description for complete details, our pricing, and our promotions. And thanks for watching.